Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm going to be playing more Pioneer today. This time it's like a big-ish Gruul Aggro deck. The idea being that the card quality's higher than in the really low curve sort of whacker type decks. Remains to be seen if it's actually better. I would assume not, based on the other one having had such good results, but I prefer this type of thing. I tend to prioritise high individual card quality. It's just what I like to do. Fairly sure Scavenging Ooze is going to be a letdown. Other than that, I'm really looking forward to trying it. Love the top end, love Glorybringer, love Nissa Vital Force, love Questing Beast and Surak. So hopefully we're going to be able to clock people pretty hard. A little bit worried about these wankers, the Game Trails. They're just such a bad card. I hate that type of land, but you can't you can't really avoid them if you're in hang on, I can't remember how ally versus enemy coloured pairs work. I think this is an allied colour pair. I could, apologies if I'm wrong, don't crucify me, but yeah, this half of the colour pair pie has bad mana, as is evidence in the blue-black inverted deck and others. So yeah, Game Trail's going to kill us at some point today. I hate that card. But we'll see how we do. It should be nice and easy to pilot, which is good, because I am not feeling very intelligent today. Sun stinks. Let me just make it a little bit bigger for you guys. Hopefully that's nice and clear. I'm pretty certain this is a mulligan. This is far better. I'm going to put back a Questing Beast because we have two and they are legendary. I was trying to do it on arena, like on arena then when you drag it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to keep. So, stating the obvious, we are crying out for lands and early plays. Temple of Triumph, so this could be anything. Could be a feather deck with Temple. It could be aggro deck. It could be there's a multicolored Fires of Invention deck, a lot like the one in Standard. That's a bad draw. We'll have to see. Sorry, as you can see, I am drinking at 3 in the afternoon because it is basically, you can do whatever you damn well please in Britain at the moment because the whole country has just gone bizarre. So if I want to drink at 3 o'clock, I will. And yeah, let's hope it doesn't affect this video too much. If we don't draw a land next turn, we're in some trouble. Pelt Collector was a fine draw. I would have probably, yeah, I mean, I clearly chose to play that over passing with Shock Up, so if this is like small to fairy, bounce your Pelt Collector or something, I'll be a bit sad. Fae of Wishes, so this is definitely a Fires deck. Ooh, we're dead. We're so dead. That was a bad draw. Playing 24 lands in my aggro deck, I don't deserve this. It's fine. It's all fine. Everything's fine. Let's hope their follow-up isn't horrible. No follow-up. That's very interesting. It's decent. Still no good attacks. Stating the obvious, the thing that we're most afraid of is probably Supreme Verdict. If we start drawing lands, we'll have medium amounts of game, because like one of the things I like about this deck, one of the reasons I've wanted to make a Questing Beast plus Glorybringer deck for ages, is that having that amount of haste means it's fine. It means you're very good against Wraths and Planeswalkers, or at least you are compared to other creature-based decks. They're going to get in for one with lifelink before they cast the other half of Deafening Clarion. And by the other half, I mean a second copy. We'll have to see. Well, I'm glad I put the extra counter on, because getting swept would have been sad. Yeah, this signifies that they're probably casting a second one post-combat, I think. Which is fine if we draw a land, and horrible if we don't. Well, is it horrible? We can just make a 4-3 or a 4-4. Elspeth conquers death. Okay, that's pretty strong. But they're going to start running out of supplies. They have nothing in the graveyard to get back. Land. Okay. Just going to keep hitting them with big hasty things. See how we get on. This chapter doesn't affect us, and chapter 3 doesn't affect them either. So at the moment, it's 5 mana, kill your Gruul Spellbreaker, which is not playable. So it's kind of encouraging. I presume they're attacking. Yeah. If we draw a land again, I think I'm just going to slam Stormbreath Dragon and start hurting them. Them only having 2 cards in hand is encouraging as well. This must be a Fae of Wishes activation. That's a D-Sphere. Why wouldn't you use Fires? Seems weird. Maybe they forgot Fires exists, because they could have used Castle Vantress as well. Yep, that happens. Oh, they've still got the mana floating. They remembered a little bit too late. I wonder if it will let them untap and use their castle now. That's fine. Yeah, so they kind of figured it out. It's a bit unfortunate for them that they're scrying before they know what I'm up to, but I suppose they're still just looking to bottom lands and draw Planeswalkers. How many cards do they have to discard to rebuy Fae? 2. So they're quite far away from that, really. Trying to think what busted stuff they could have in their sideboard. They could potentially have like an Ugin the Spirit Dragon or something. It's not a land. This is tough. I think having seen Deafening Clarion, that makes the most sense to me, but I'm by no means confident. Like, it might have been better just to hit for 3, because now they could just Supreme Verdict, make me look like an idiot, and I've wasted 3 points of damage. We'll have to see. I'll tell you one thing I almost put in this deck. And here he's great. I was super close to putting the green Gear Hulk, what's it called? Verdurous Gear Hulk, I think it might be called. I wanted to put Verdurous Gear Hulk in so that I could put +1/+1 counters. Ooh. So that I could put +1/+1 counters on my... I hope they just minus that. That's fine. We're actually not in bad shape now. Yeah, I wanted to put 4 +1/+1 counters on a questing beast and like deal 8 damage to planeswalkers and stuff. You should attack for sure. Oh, they actually, maybe it was wrong. I wanted them to attack. Maybe they saw through it. Stomp here. Let me get that out of the way. So we are praying for no no wraths off the top. Then we can draw. Then we've got the out of drawing like a. If we draw a, I suppose they're scrying, so they can probably do something pretty impressive. If we draw a land, we can Glorybringer this down and deal 7 to Nahiri, which isn't enough to kill it, but it's because it will be on 8. But it's enough to stop it from minusing on the Glorybringer or whatever, and then we've got another turn to answer it. We'll be obviously, unless they have 2 cards in hand, we'll be trying to exert on the Fae as well. Gideon, they can just plus on the Goblin. So it's not like in Modern where Nahiri represents a Emrakul usually. I'm not sure what Nahiri represents in this deck. Maybe something like Torrential Gear Hulk. I think I'm willing to risk letting it ult. It can get artifacts as well, right? I'm going to kill a Gideon. This is why we love Glorybringer. Takes out a creature and a planeswalker and leaves a 5/5 in its place. Pretty good. Not a 5/5, a 4/4. Still a big scary dragon. So I'm not sure that was correct. Frankly, it probably wasn't good to let them have the Nahiri. But I've seen no scary creatures or artifacts from them. What else would be good? Like a Bedlam Reveler would be really good to refuel, but I can't see that in this deck because it's terrible. It has no synergy with this. Well, we'll have to see what awaits us. I half expect them just to -2 on the Glorybringer, to be honest. I'm also not sure who's ahead anymore, because we are clearly ahead on board and cards in hand, but their top decks are amazing. Like, if they top deck Drawn from Dreams or Dig Through Time, I can't see how we beat that. That makes sense. I wonder what their draw step was. Granted. Okay. Maybe they have 5 big planeswalkers in the side. They've got 6 mana, so it can't be an Ugin the Spirit Dragon. It can be a Bolus. It can be a Casualties of War. That would hurt. It could be... yeah, Casualties. So if they hit, like, Stomping Ground or Castle Embereth plus Zhur-Taa Goblin, that's not great for me. That makes sense. Cut me on Questing Beast. But that's kind of it from them. Hopefully we draw a land. I've been saying that a lot, haven't I? That's fine too. So this right here will kill the Nahiri next turn, even if we don't draw a land. Because Nahiri will go on 8, and we have 6 plus 2 from the Castle Embereth. Which is, you know, that's a nice baseline to know that it's that or better. Sorry if that was really loud. Ooh. That's a good one. Now we badly need land, because Glorybringer is a great, great answer to that. But without a Glorybringer, we're kind of asking a lot. Come on, untapped land. Huh. It's not bad. So I can minus on the Fae and attack Gideon. Is that better than... I'm not sure this is correct, but this means I don't lose my, I don't lose my Pelt Collector in a trade. I'm not sure this is good though. This is actually a really, really tough matchup. Like, from the point of view of they've got so many ways of buying time. Because they can plus Gideon, kill my Chandra, minus Nahiri, get rid of my Giant, and then we're right back in trouble. I'm really not happy about the fact that I basically had to waste Chandra there. But we have loads of live outs. We have... yeah, that's fine. It's expected. And then they should plus Gideon and kill this. And then we just have to pray that their last card wasn't actually good. If their last card is just another Planeswalker, we're probably going to get overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. On the plus side, unjustifiable day drinking is helping with the pain. Don't bounce my pelt collector. You turd. Come on. Land. That sucks. If we'd drawn a land, we could Storm Breath down the Gideon. They couldn't minus Nahiri on it, and then we'd be in, because it's pro-white, and then we'd be in decent-ish shape. So, Heroic Intervention's good against Wraths. Cindervines and Destructive Revelry seem good. I think Mistcutter Hydras are probably good. And I probably want to at least consider them. They're not using the graveyard, so Clothis is probably a bit slow, as is Scavenging Ooze. And then... what else? Something like this. That makes some sense to me. So we've got all our mana, but we've got a terrible gap between 1 and 3. Like 1 and 4, really, because I don't really want to cast Mistcutter Hydra for a small amount. I think I'm going to keep it, but could easily be incorrect. But we've got a load of medium-sized stuff to draw into. And as we saw last game, we're really in trouble if we don't draw lands. Having 4 is quite nice. Kind of rolls up our next few turns. I don't know. Also, if we get lucky and we draw like Zertar Goblin now, we're actually presenting a reasonable clock. Good against the 3 mana Planeswalkers and stuff. I mean, that's not great, is it? But we can get an Embereth out of the way. Hit for 1. I really want to Mistcutter Hydra for a decent amount. Like, it's quite a good follow-up to them. Like, for example, bouncing the Pelt Collector or something. We can go play Pelt Collector, play Mistcutter Hydra, grow the Collector, and so on. That's actually quite a good play from them at the moment. Pretty strongly considering it, playing it for X's 2, which I think is very... well, I played a tap land by mistake, so that's that one. But I think playing it for X's 2 would be sad anyway, but I still nearly did it. Can't help but feel that taking 2 turns off is a death sentence. I imagine this is a small Teferi. It's a Narset. Okay, that's probably fine. Means we get to keep Pelt Collector. And they've got a Bolus, which is probably not fine. It's pretty terrifying. They're clearly not attacking, I would think. Be amazed if they did. So one good thing is that Mistcutter Hydra's pro-blue. So it allows us to attack past the Fae and kill the Narset. Excuse me. Well, that's a rubbish draw, but we have a decent turn anyway. I didn't know this card existed. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I did a gatherer search for haste in red and green, and I was pretty gassed to find that one. I didn't think it was a main deck card, but it seemed like a sideboard card against control decks. One other thing that's pretty cool is we're kind of insulated against most planeswalkers at this point because of the Glorybringer and the fact we've got 2 decent threats on board. But we are in a bit of trouble to a Fires of Invention. That's certainly true. Well, this doesn't look like a Fires because I haven't made any red. That seems completely terrible. Why would you do that against a fair deck? Unmoored Ego is a bad card in general. Sure, I guess. But yeah, that's just a bad card. The only downside is they now know how shit my hand is. But we've got 2 draw steps because we get a replacement from the Ego taking this. We get a draw for our turn. And we really just want to start getting some pressure on because the I suppose it's a good one for them not to know about. Yeah, the fact they've got Bolus for sure next turn. Actually, it's not for sure, is it? They've got 2 black sources at the moment. Dragon. Big dragon. Dragon. It's not a dragon. So all my activated abilities on my lands would prevent me from using Heroic Intervention. So I think I'm just going to attack. And they should block the Pelt Collector and take 3, which is not enough damage to scare them, but it's fine. It's what we can do. What 1 mana removal do they have? I don't know. It said they were paying costs then, and then it didn't. What on earth could that be? Isolate? Could it be Isolate? Vapor Snag? Not that. That's not legal. Unsummon? I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. Starting next turn, we can use like Embreath or Hashep Oasis plus Heroic Intervention, and then we start actually making some headway in their life total. I'd probably rather use Embreath because I don't really want to sacrifice lands at the moment. This is why I wanted to hold up the intervention. It's a nice little blowout for us. They've wasted their turn. I'm still getting over the Unmoored Ego. I think that's like one of the worst pieces of sideboarding I've ever seen. But I'm still going to lose to it. But you have to remember, I'm not going to lose because of it. I'm going to lose in spite of it. It's still a terrible thing for them to have chosen to do with their lives. So we attack. I think at this point I'm using, it costs 2 to do that, right? Yeah, so I'm going to use Stomp on this and just play the Giant. It's playing really hard into a sweeper, but it's all I've got. Got 10. Yeah, we've got lethal next turn. We've got lethal through like a medium amount of removal as well because of these lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we don't. We can't activate two different lands, so we don't have lethal through 1 removal. Okay. Is this another Clarion? I can't beat the Clarion. Or Storm's Wrath. Fires. I can handle fires. If it's fires into Bolus, then that's good but not unbeatable. Sure. So that's their only spell this turn. They probably have to hit the Bone Crusher Giant. And then they're dead to a haste creature. They're dead to Stomp. They're dead to Chandra. They're dead to a lot of things. Not a land, please, deck. Should do it. Are they going to concede, or are they going to make me attack? Looks like they're conceding. Cool, well, we got there despite stumbling, which is nice. Do I want to change anything for on the draw? I'm going to do that. The reason is, and maybe I should have done it in the first place, is that it has 4 toughness rather than 3, so it's Clarion proof. Maya Papa. It's a fun name. It's very fun to say. Its hand is acceptable. It's not exciting. Keeping it though. That's for sure. So really we're just looking to draw like a Zertar Goblin or even a Cindervines. Something we can play on 2. Poke Collector's fine, I guess. Bad against Detention Sphere and Deafening Clarion. But I'm still playing it next turn, aren't I? Let's be real. Can't afford to be too slow here. Hopefully they have no play. Decent draw. Probably shouldn't be doing this pre-combat in case they have a 2-mana piece of interaction, but it is what it is. My assumption is they don't. And now I just have to pray that their turn 3 is a Teferi and not a Clarion. If they go either Clarion or D-Sphere, we're in a lot of bother. If they don't do that this turn and I get to hold up Heroic Intervention, then I'm going to be much happier. Nice. So hopefully this turn we get to catch either a Planeswalker activation or a sweeper with the Heroic Intervention, untap and slam Chandra, or even miss Cutter, depending on what's looking more relevant. And then Glorybringer is still Glorybringer. It's still amazing. I think Chandra would be probably my preference in a vacuum because it can power out the Glorybringer even if we miss lands. Hopefully this will be like a verdict or something. Sure. See what card name they choose. They probably should choose Pelt Collector. Questing Beast. What a coward. So, do we want to miss Cutter and just hit for 7? I think now we've got the Glorybringer mana rolled up, I'm more happy with this. I just noticed opponent's clock as well. So we've lethal next turn, but obviously I'm not expecting to get to untap with a big board. I'm expecting at least a sweeper or a planeswalker. But I don't see me dying in 3 minutes and 40, so we're probably going to win to the clock, which is a very sad but I guess fine way to win. It's just a bit like, it's kind of unimpressive. Well, okay, we might just kill them. They might be mana screwed in terms of colour more so than quantity. Cool. Yeah, they just couldn't cast the spells. That'll teach them to be, let's call it generously 4 colours, because they're like 3 whole colours and 2 halves. But they are essentially a 5-colour like monstrosity playing Gaia Reach Sanitarium, and I think that's, you know, pretty rude. Oh, this hand sucks again. Why can't we get like 1 nut draw for once in our lives? I mean, turn 1 Stomping Ground Pelt Collector, that's the first part of the nut draw. But we need an awful lot to go right after this. So what are we thinking? Spirits on the other side? And if we are, will they trade their probable Spectral Sailor for our Pelt Collector? Oh, they just don't have anything. Maybe not Spirits. Oh, this must be the almost forgotten Lotus Breach deck. So it's just a race, and I don't like our chances. Not unless we draw a relevant card to play the next turn, because we're not applying enough pressure. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to play this tapped. I'm not going to reveal anything because I don't want them to know anything that we don't have to tell them. The good news is with Surak we'll be hitting for 9 next turn, and then lethal the following turn, so they have 2 turns to kill us. And I can't see them killing us this turn. So really they have a 1-turn window. Sure. Okay. That's fine. Combat Surak targets itself. Imagine how much better shape we'd be in if our turn 3 had not been go. The only other thing we can hope for is that our opponent is a competent pilot and we don't spend ages getting bored watching them combo off. They seem to be nice and fast at the moment, which is good. It alleviates potential tedium because this is a fucking boring deck. Sorry if you're a big fan, but I am not. I think there's a time and a place for combo, and that place is Vintage Cube, and the rest of the time we should all be casting Glorybringers. This does feel like we're dead, it has to be said. They have a lot of mana and a lot of cards. They are running out of pour over the pages, and we haven't seen the win condition yet. The what's it called? The Underworld Breach. There's some red mana, so that might be it. Sure, I'll concede. Oh, hang on. No, do we need to watch them? Do we need them to fey for a? They need to fey for their mill spell, don't they? Tome Scour or whatever it is. So they might still be digging for that. Let's give them a little bit of time to fuck up before we scoop. There's the Fae, so yeah, that's fine. Alright. So, Skoos can stay. Clothis is probably too slow. Actually, Skoos and Clothis are probably both too slow. We need spheres, and we need Cindervines. And anything that's basically not super aggressive can go. I think I'd rather have an Ooze than a Clothis. I think I'm going to submit like that, and we're just going to try to have a really aggro draw. Well, that's irritating. We've yet to have a good hand all day. This is as close as it's come to a good hand. Keep. So Damping Sphere, if it's not obvious, is a bit of a trump card in the matchup, but they have ways and means of removing it. I'm going to get the elf down, not the elf, the goblin. And then I'm going to play the Damping Sphere the next turn, because this way I have enough pressure to kind of pair with the Damping Sphere to actually close the game. They don't normally do anything until at least turn 3. They might scrying or something, but that's fine. Strategic planning, it looks like. Okay. It's annoying that we don't have a land, but it is what it is. I was on 2 copies of Damping Sphere for ages, and then I put a third one in, and I'm very glad that I did. This makes their Lotus Fields bad, and their comboing off incredibly hard. Okay. So they should block the 3/3, take 2, and then we're going to stomp the Fae post combat. It's very annoying that we're missing lands, but it's fine. It's fine, really. I think the fact we drew our excellent sideboard trump card is more than enough to make me feel better about missing some land drops. Yeah, nice. I was going to say, hopefully they miss a land drop and they scoop. That was fine. And we're going to try and do something similar. I don't think we've got any good cards currently in our sideboard. Like, there's an argument for Ooze, but it still seems correct. I'd quite like to stop drawing infinite Pelt Collectors. They haven't been as impressive. They're like super impressive if you go 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, but if you go Pelt Collector 4-drop or something like that, it's pretty lame. And I guess given that post side we only have 5 2-drops because we brought in so many sideboard cards, that might be part of it. Maybe I've over sideboarded, but I don't know. They're such good sideboard cards, the Cindervines and the Damping Spheres. Keeping this. Pelt Collector into Cindervines into almost anything else should be, well, not necessarily enough, but it's not bad. Now I'm wondering if I want to play the Goblin like last time. I think I probably do. Is this a Sylvan Scrying for a Lotus Field? It must be. Well, oh, it's a Thespian stage. They've got the field in their hand anyway. Hopefully we'll draw the Damping Sphere. We did not. Oh, this is close. Casting a 1/3, I'd say that's pretty defensible, but we should be fine. Solid draw, goes well with our Questing Beast. Maybe put the by not playing the Cindervines pre-combat, we might put the old, what's it called, Gore Clan Rampage of Fear into them. I'm amazed they didn't block here, but maybe they didn't because I had mana up, so that was potentially a good thing. This is another scrying. It's a field. Sure. I can copy it. But then they're tapped out. No, they're not. Yes, they are. So how much pressure can we put on them? And we've got the Cindervines as well. So I'm for sure playing a 2-drop. A 4-drop. I'm thinking it's just Questing Beast, isn't it? They have no good blocks now as well. Plus, I don't think they can cast enough spells to kill me through the Cindervines without dying. Ah! What does that do? Fog? Yeah. Oh no. Not fog. Maybe they were trying to dig for a fog. I think they should have maybe blocked first. could have blocked to save 3 damage. Now they're at 3, they can only cast 2 spells. I can't see them winning through 2 spells. Especially if this is their like interaction, because it doesn't kill Cindervines. Well, sideboards are good. That's the lesson here. And the opponent, based on how quickly they were resubmitting, I don't think they sideboarded. Maybe they brought in the Dissenter's Deliverance, but that could easily be a main deck card because of cycling. The truth is, I don't know these Lotus Field decks inside out because I'm not interested in them, so I've never studied them, really. Okay. Take 1. This feels like a last gasp situation. I think they're deadsies. Also, they haven't got enough mana that, like, if they can answer Cindervines, they haven't got enough mana to combo off afterwards, and then we can just plus Chandra and kill them or attack or whatever. We've got infinite ways of... So I think this game is all but done. Sorry if I'm chatting bollocks, by the way. I'm talking a lot, and I've had a few beers, and I'm, in spite of my enormous physical size, for those who don't know me, I'm like massive. I'm like I'm a very big bloke, but I'm not a very big drinker, so I don't have very high tolerance for it. Ah, yes, they do have lots of mana because I forget how the cards work. Sure. Well, that's your last spell. If you cast a spell that removes the Cindervines, you die. Hooray! Cool. Combo sucks. Prepare to die, combo players. I am your, what's the word? Mortal enemy, vanquisher, nemesis. I like it when, whenever Canister gets interviewed, he always mentions that Mengucci is his archenemy in like a strong Polish accent, and I've never heard Mengucci mention Canister in the same context once. So I think it's like a very personal, bitter rivalry felt from exactly 50% of the parties, and from Mengucci's point of view, it's all pretty much Gucci. But both Magic players I respect hugely. Both streamers I really like as well. They seem like good people. Don't mean to talk smack about players 20 times better than me. But we're 2-0. That's a good start. Oh, something's happened. Allow me to figure out what's going on. So I've been given some things, and I appear to have been booted out. I'm going to see... I should have like 32 tickets. 22 tickets. So it seems... Pioneer League... Ah, I'm confused. I was wondering if I'd been evicted for some reason. Like, sometimes when MTGO is due for maintenance or whatever, you get booted, but no, they just gave me some packs for some reason. Don't know. Don't know. Underground Brazil? Don't know what that means. I can make sense of both words independently. I don't know what either word means in, you know... Well, I don't know what does underground mean with respect to Magic. Are they playing... Is this like the South Park episode Cock Magic, where it's all kind of underground illegal magic fighting clubs? This is a much better hand. This is the best hand we've seen all day. If we can somehow draw a 2-drop and then a land, this will be close to unbeatable. If you guys haven't seen it, there's a South Park episode called Cock Magic. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And there's two sort of strands to the episode. The first being that Randy, who's one of the best characters, is performing magic tricks with his penis. And the second fuck's sake, that's not the land I thought it was. I thought that was the thought that was game trailer. I could reveal the stomping ground, and now I'm a bit embarrassed. So we're playing Salto mid-range. I have no idea how this matchup is. So yeah, Randy's doing magic tricks with his penis at like kids' parties and stuff. It's pretty unacceptable. And then the other half is that the main gang are they're getting into Magic the Gathering. Kenny's pretty good at it, and then they realise there's an underground chicken-based culture where you train your chickens to play Magic the Gathering. It's a good draw. And yeah, your chicken fights on your behalf. Well, I didn't get punished. We missed 0 points of damage, so that's fine. Oh. The good news is my hand is very good. The bad news is I think this matchup's probably foul. Like, Uro is a problem for us. We can't really handle medium amounts of life gain. You should definitely attack opponent. Coward. Yeah, so sorry, yeah, the gang get into Magic the Gathering. They're playing with chickens. They see this underground fighting ring that's occurring in the Chinese restaurant's basement, and then they realise they want to get in on it. It's all being broadcast on a network called ESPN Illegal, which I think is very funny. And basically, yeah, they get a chicken, they name it McNuggets, and they teach it how to fight. And yeah, it just gets sillier and sillier, and then they get shut down. The police break in, and Randy shoots his dick off in front of the police. Randy hears that this is where the cock magic's going on, and he wants to perform. So it's really stupid. It's one of the best things I've ever seen. Yeah, this has worked out well for us because opponents seem to have stumbled pretty hard. I'm not exerting. Just trying to get them dead. We're looking pretty good, which is miraculous, really, because like I can't imagine this is a good matchup. That's fine. They've got another fatal push. They've got an abrupt decay. That's fine too. As long as we can kill them, as long as they don't gain any life, we can kill them with Glorybringer plus a Chandra activation. So I think the one card I don't want to see is Uro. Six mana, what's that? Ballista for 3? Yeah, that won't save you. Tough shit opponent. Kill the Ballista. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's a great South Park episode. It's one of my favourites. If you have, you know, any affection for that show, you should watch it. I appreciate it's not to everyone's taste. It's quite a weird experience watching South Park generally. Cool. Well, I've got my incidental graveyard hate of Skoos plus Clothis, which is quite comforting. I think I want Lava Coil. Do I? It's a frickin' 6/6. Maybe I want Mistcutter Hydra to block Uro. Because this deck is shit apart from Uro. That's my hot take. It's actually a great deck, but yeah, my hot take is that it's shit apart from Uro. I'm going to bring in like 2 Mist Cutter Hydras for... Storm Breath seems worse than Glory Bee. And we'll cut Bone Crusher Giant. We'll submit like that. Yeah, Uro is a busted card. The more I'm playing with Uro, the more I am incredibly impressed by it in literally every format, and I can see it having a place all the way down as far as Legacy. Sadly, I don't own any. I don't know how it is in other countries, but where I am, all Magic card buying, selling, trading, etc. has seemingly come to a halt, so I'm not able to acquire any. Financially, I've been hit kind of hard by the government's new rules. I'll keep this. So I don't really have money for Magic cards at the moment, or for Magic in general. So Thoughtseize, take my Ooze. Go for it. I think they have to take Ooze. It will depend on what kind of hand they've got, but usually most of their hands require a graveyard. Well, we go 2 mana 3/3 into 3 mana 4/4 into 4 mana 4/4 with haste. It's not terrible. And they didn't do a turn 2, so that's great for us as well. Oh, they fatal pushed my freaking Tarmogoyf. Sorry, Tarmogoyf. That's pretty good. They kept the tomb. Was this a Thoughtseize again? Yeah. I guess they take the Spellbreaker, keep me off the next turn. They might take... Like, these cards are both better than Spellbreaker by quite a lot. Yeah, they took the Questing Beast because it's just great. Very reasonable choice. Am I feeling hasty or am I feeling biggy? Oh, 14. Let's just make it big. Okay. Well, obviously now we should have given it haste, shouldn't we? Oh. We are not casting it, so they're going to take 2. That's a very sad one to lose. I might just keep this revealed so I can see what I'm exiling. I'm not an absolute wizard with the MTGO interface. Okay. Well, this game is going suboptimally, but we've got very good top decks. We might top deck a dragon or similar. Come on, dragon. Okay, it's not a dragon. We might be dead just because they can play a life-linking body and we're like pretty dedicated aggro. But yeah, we've got good top decks. Like a Glorybringer here is great. Less good. Why can't there be a really good Gruul card with escape that we can mill into? Are they milling themselves? They are. Okay, well they're flooding too, but I don't like them gaining life. I like the fact that we're not dying very fast. a lot of lands, if we're honest. Maybe too many. Maybe too many. 5 spells versus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 lands. Well, that was good for us. That was good for us. But I don't know what they think could be in my hand. Ooh. Sorry, opponent. I'm just really smart, so I hit it on top of my deck. I have to exert because I can't have them gaining more life. Oh, they've got removal. Ah! Curses. Curses. I didn't expect more removal. How rude. Well, there's always game 3. Or we might, you know. I think we're entitled to... Oh, dear. I might concede there. That's bad. No. Because they can't escape it this turn. I'm going to see if I draw a Scavenging Ooze. Oh, they did escape one. Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm not beating that. Damn it, Underground Brazil. You suck. We have like 6 pieces of Graveyard Hate, and we only saw 1 which got Thought Seized. It's fine. I'm not bitter. It's fine. Deal. Good hand. Oh, looks like we're not getting Thought Seized, which is helpful. Doesn't mean we're not getting Fatal Pushed, but there we are. Have they got it? I think they've got it. Feels like they have it, yeah. Play a Jace. Oh. I wanted something that I can Bone Crush. Well... the thing I want to draw most in the entire world is green mana. I would love to be... Oh, I fucked this up. I should have played the Ooze this turn and then played Stomp plus Eat the Uro next turn. I think I might be a bad Magic player. Come on, green mana. Green mana. Oh. Rats. There goes me Ooze. Okay, that gives them more Euro fuel. This is terrible. Oh, they've got it all. They can do it. Oh. I think we're losing now pretty badly. We'll have to see. I really think, given that we have infinite Graveyard Hate, we've got every right to expect to draw. Well, no, we did draw it. We did. They just answered it. All right, fair enough. I'm going to stop complaining. Yeah. It's very hard for me to deal with that. I'm going to try and double block. And then I'm going to get blown out by an Abrupt Decay, and I'm going to scoop. That's my assessment of where we are. They took the swamp. Okay, sure. That I don't mind too much. The Pelt Collector's not doing much from here. Oh, that went well. Oof. That was a stonking draw. They're at 1. Go. So we can beat €1 because they would gain. Yes, suck it, Mr. Krabs. That was good. I'm happy with that. All right, we can lose for the rest of the league. I don't care. That was nice. All right. That was a good one. That was a good one. Screw you, Underground Brazil. Was that Underground Brazil? Can't remember. It may have been. Oh, look, it says there, look. If we trophy, this will be a miracle. Because I kind of, much like the Bant list, I threw this together and then immediately started recording without any testing. And, yeah, I'm getting a bit sozzled, so Magic's getting harder. I'm a little bit proud of myself for not cocking up the interface then, like remembering to exert cast stomp before blocks. I had visions of letting them block and then stomping when I was doing it, and I was panicking. Ooh! Ooh! It's Reid Duke, my favourite. I'm going to say hello. Yeah, for those who are unaware, a big Reid Duke fan. I think he's like one of the most lovely people. Not that I've met him, but the vibe you get from his streams and stuff, he just seems like the best person. I've never played him before, so this will be fun. He's been playing a ton of Inverter recently. This hand sucks. This hand sucks. All right. Right, fine. Reid on 7 versus Chris on 5 on the draw. I wonder who's the favourite. It's not me. It's not me. That was a great draw. Now all we need to do is hit runner, runner, land, and then I'm happy. All right. Well, that's the best thing we could have seen because we have an answer for that. I'm still going to play my ooze out because we evolve. Better for damage output, and the Jace isn't flipping very soon. Oh, this is Sultai. I've just realised it's not necessarily Inverter, although there probably are Sultai Inverter decks. But I'm assuming this is Sultai mid-range, the deck we just played against. Looks that way. Sure. So the best possible draw is mana, land, because we can shock Jace and eat Uro, but I am pardon me, most certainly eating that Uro. Because by eating the Uro, we're also preventing Jace from flipping. Let's get rid of that. That's a terrifying thing for him to have access to. Excuse my flatulence. The beer is getting to me. I got no excuses. It's terrible behaviour. My mother wouldn't be happy. Don't ditch an Uro. Oh God. I'm convinced that no matter how good my position may be, Reid Duke with a wet towel will probably beat Chris with a tuned vintage deck. Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Well, I'm doing what I can, but missing land drops is going to kill me. Basically. So, top pile will be presented face up. That seems correct. Reid took the bottom pile. Yeah, I don't know how I get out of this, honestly. My best answer to Planeswalkers is Glorybringer, and they can even block that with Atris. If I'm being realistic, I don't have any outs. Land would be a great start. So I can play Spellbreaker and attack with 3/3/3s. All at Ashiok, that forces some bad blocks. Or I can stomp the Jace and play Pelt Collector, or I can stomp the Jace and use my Scavenging Ooze. I like stomping Jace. And I think I like... So if I attack here, he just double blocks with the Nightmares, and that's bad for me. Oh. Man, I really like trying to test myself and beat pros, but this is just not close. Not remotely close. Oh, it was fine until there was an Ashiok, and then it ceased to be fine. At least I can drown my sorrows. This will help me play well, won't it? Let's keep drinking and see if that helps me beat one of the top 5 players of the last 5 or 10 years. That can only end well. Oh. So next turn we can play Bone Crusher Giant and evolve both Pelt Collectors at least. Sure, I'm not interested in Chandra at the moment. He must have another Ashiok. That's the only thing I can think of that would lead to that. Because that just doesn't seem like a very good... Like, why wouldn't you just make another token? The Ashok's absolutely ruining me at the moment. Yeah. They should double block and I'd trade it for a token. And that's fine. I don't think it's getting better than that at this point. What's going on in my exile zone? Not a lot. Nothing too upsetting. I suppose lands, honestly, would be good draws. Oof. That'll do me. Yeah, he can escape it, yeah. So that explains the previous turn, because he wanted to have a window to escape, and that's fine. So, I'm trying to remember how I sideboarded last time. Was it Mist Cutter Hydras? I think I brought in 2, didn't I? I don't know. Oh, I should... let's get rid of... like that. I'm wondering if I want the Domery's ambushes. He seems to be a bit more... These can hit planeswalkers, can't they? Yeah, we'll get them. We'll cut. What are we cutting? Spellbreaker. We'll go like this. I'm not sure it's right. I should probably say GG's. Reid is always very polite to his opponents. Some mulligan. This looks like a keep. This looks lovely, actually. Sorry, Chandra. You're not currently of interest to me. Now I need to remember the difference between Rootbound Crack and Game Trail, don't I? So yeah, if we get to curve Ooze into Clothis without getting Thought Seized, that's not a Thought Seize, I'll feel pretty good. He's got a Swamp. So I don't think this is like the Joel Larson list. I think he's gone... Or a derivative of. I think he's just gone and built his own new Sultai list, is my feeling. Okay. So I can't really afford for the Clothis to get Thought Seized. So the nice thing is that Clothis triggers at the beginning of my pre-combat main phase, not my beginning of my turn. So that means that I will have my draw step. So if I draw a land, I can give some serious consideration to making mana and casting Glorybringer. Obviously, what Reid does will affect my decision. Yeah, I'm definitely casting Glorybringer if I can. So hopefully I'll draw a land. I failed to draw a land. So, what does that mean? Probably still want mana. Hang on, let's think it through. No, I need to kill him. I can play Pelt Collector and stomp this. Maybe I should have responded to my... I think I should have responded to my own close this trigger by stomping the tracker and then eating the tracker rather than the sorcery, because it would have made it harder for Reid to get Delirium this turn. Because he had 2 sorceries and only 1 creature. But I'm not thinking that straight at all. Ballista's not a major problem, I don't think. Sure. Okay, Clothis is an absolutely horrible draw. So I'm definitely eating the tracker. Definitely going to combat. And now I have to decide between... Oh, I should have eaten the Traverse, so I could have eaten the... Sure, I'm going to eat my own Pelt Collector. That was bad play. But in my defense, I'm getting quite drunk. I played this turn so badly. I almost don't want to do anything just out of shame because I don't want Reid to see how bad I am. I think I'm going to eat Graveyard on his turn instead. But I've sequenced this horribly and I am full of shame. Please don't judge me, Mr. Duke. I don't care what other people think, but I care what you think. That's fine. He might mill some creatures for me to eat. He did not. That's fine too. Don't mind this. Sure. That's something I can kill with Domu's Ambush if I don't get anything better going on. Let's eat that. It's the only sorcery. And I guess we're going to start eating some instants. Come on, land. Okay, not land. Sure, we'll eat the Abrupt Decay. Just try and kill him. I'm aware that I've left myself open to like Uro plus escape this turn, but I feel like no, it probably was bad to eat the Jace. It probably was bad. Maybe I should have left 1 green up. I feel like I'm pretty far ahead this game. Here comes Uro. No? Grizzly Salvage. Maybe trying to mill an Uro. Well, those weren't great hits. Took the Rivulet. Sure. That's okay. That's fine. We can deal with this. I've been in worse shape. Just give me a land. Okay. Eat the Uro. Deal 2. Play the Bone Crusher Giant. And that's it. God, my hand is terrible for... as far as, like, for either bomb rares or mythic rares go, my hand really does suck. But that's fine. It is what it is. Okay. So, does he have he has a blue source, yeah, we know about the rivulet. So this is where I start to lose. But in my defense, it's totally not my fault, probably, maybe. I feel like this one window was all Reid needed. Oh, I'm sad now. I wanted to take a game off him. It's kind of slipping, isn't it? Let's be honest, it's slipping. Continuing to miss on lands has been, like, fairly brutal. And the fact that our hand is all 5-drops is also brutal, because we could use Clothis to cast a 4. But we're on 26, now 20, so it's not that bad. Don't really have a good way to get that Uro into the graveyard for me to Clothis it, though. Come on, give me a land. That's fine. Don't care. I assume he's killing Pelt Collector. Eat a land. Make a red. Bit too late, isn't it? Let's be real. I'm going to get rid of Jace. He should shoot Pelt Collector. I think. I'm not sure. He may decide it's not even necessary, which is totally valid. It might not be necessary. I mean, I think he's incredibly far ahead. There's a strong consideration to obviously hitting the ballista, but being able to cast Fatal Push again can't be good for me. Sure. This is the end. This is how I die. No, it's fine. It's all good. This is presumably pump the ballista and then play. Have you got anything else horrible post combat? Just that. Okay, that's fine. Ah, for Delirium. Very good. Ishkana, sure. That's presumably what's coming. I'm going to eat the ballista specifically to take him off 2 card types. So I can play. Oh, it doesn't help. Yeah, I'm dead. That's it. Well, bit sad. Wanted to be able to beat Reid Duke, but I felt like I played fine and just didn't have a chance. And that's fine. Sometimes you can't win games. No reason to be disappointed. I actually think I made the most of a bad job. Oh, there was that one turn, wasn't there, where I should have done Reid's ambush pre-combat and I didn't, and then I was too ashamed to do it, so I just ate stuff. That was kind of embarrassing. But apart from that one pretty bad mistake, it's all good. Well, we've got one round left to try and get... I'd be thrilled with a 4-1, if I'm honest. I'd be absolutely thrilled. Because I don't think the deck's perfect. In fact, I think it's kind of bad. And obviously, it's not being piloted optimally, if we're honest, is it? But, you know... Hopefully slightly drunk Chris is still better than most players. Who knows? I mean, sober Chris is like maybe like 2% above average. And it's good. Green Stompy, probably. Well, I'm all for drawing Glory Bringers, but I would rather draw them when I know I can cast them. Like, they're a bit kind of clunky here. Costing 5 and all. Ah, maybe this is the Gruul Aggro deck. Looks that way. Pardon me. Alright, well. Here we are. We are definitely... There's a really famous article... Oh, it's Green Devotion. There's a really famous article called Who's the Beatdown? Which, if you haven't seen, you should watch. And we are not the Beatdown. How big can that be next turn? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so is there any point playing a Gruul Spellbreaker? No, but there's a point in stomping something. This seems reasonable. Sure, they have a frickin' 10-11. How am I supposed to beat that with my red removal? The answer is... Oh, it's an 8-9. My mistake. I thought it was a 10-11. Oh, with trample. Oh, fine. Forgot about trample. Goodness me. That was brutal. I guess we're bringing in the removal spell. Zzz. And we're cutting... These don't seem particularly important. Nor do these. Let's go like that. So hopefully... So I'm going to play this first, and then I'm going to play my mountain. Okay. So they can use the Nykthos to make 3 mana now. Correction, they can use Nykthos to make 5 mana. It's quite strong. Someone remind me how I'm supposed to beat this. I suppose it starts with me yeah, sure. Starts with me killing that land. And then we pass. And then we have to figure out how to kill that Nissa. Doesn't feel close. This matchup feels horrible. Killed their accelerant, didn't matter. Questing Beast. That's really good. Can't complain about that draw step. Okay. It's getting better. If I can draw an answer to that Jadelight Ranger, then the Nissa's down, and then we're very far ahead. Woo! Never mind. Matchup's easy. Everything's great. I was worrying about nothing, except for we're on the draw, and I think we're dead before this game even begins. No. No. Come on, deck. Fucking hell. Fine. Oh, this sucks hard. Yeah, I think that's game. Third one Llanowar Elves, that's game. Alright, they may be looking for lands then. It's not the same power level. If they miss a land drop this turn, I'll kill their Llanowar Elves, never mind. Okay, well they did miss a land drop. Going to attack, see if they trade. I hope they do. Stating the obvious, I just have to apply as much pressure as I can. Vivian, kill my Gruul Spellbreaker would be sad. Yep, there we are. So they should trade the Jadelight for the Surak and lose Vivian. And I think that's fine. Like, if they continue to miss land drops, I'm going to use my removal on the Llanowar Elves. Okay. That's decent, to say the least. So yeah, I'm going to lose Chandra, but it kind of stone rains them because they can't use the Llanowar Elf for mana if they need to attack Chandra. At least that's my intention. Okay, so they eat my Goblin, which isn't good. And then they kill Chandra, which also isn't good. Oh, that went poorly. Chandra down. Okay. So, stating the obvious, best draw is like a Glory Bringer. Oof. Hell's Horses. This is bad. Alright. Had enough. Well. Well. Okay. That is... Where were we? That's my Gruul Aggro deck. It is entirely average. I think we were lucky to get a 3-2. I think we had some weak performances from some of the opponents until the last couple rounds, and then when we started coming up against real opposition, we got pounded. So there we are. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was entertaining watching me struggle on, and if you have any more requests or anything, let me know. See you all next time. Cheers. Take care. Bye-bye.